AC's licensing subcommittee, and thank you for attending. I'm Janet Evans, and I'm chairing this meeting. The committee for this meeting comprises Councillor Marie-Therese Rossi and Councillor Toby Benton and myself. We are joined by Paul Phelan from the Council's licensing team, our legal advisor, Lindsay Lemasurier. Also with us, our committee officers, Emily Beard, Youssef is here? Yes. Zabalo and Tommy Hanma. The applicants. That's the applicants. Oh, the applicant is here. Hello.
Sorry.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Myself, Morteza Akbarova.
Thank you. We have here, before starting the case, a few ground rules. Please, until you are invited to speak, please make sure your mobile phones are on silent.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
The case before us today is to consider an objection from the police to a temporary event notice given by Mr. Morteza Akbarabadi in relation to an event he proposes to hold at Red Planet Pizza, 167 Ladbroke Grove, London, West 10. Now for declarations of interest. I confirm that I have no declaration of interest to make regarding this item. Do the other members have any declaration to make? Councillor Rossi?
No declaration.
Councillor Benton?
No declaration.
Thank you, colleagues. For clarity, I will outline the procedure of the meeting, which has already been circulated with the papers. You have the papers?
I've got email. No papers.
You got the table behind you.
Thank you.
First, the licensing officer, Mr. Phelan, will give a brief outline of the notice. Please, could you confirm your attendance? Then I will ask the premises user, Mr. Morteza Akbarabadi, to present his submission. He will have up to a maximum of 10 minutes to do so. Could you confirm your attendance, please?
I mean about the shop for the.
Sorry?
It mean about the shop 167 Ladbroke Grove.
Yes.
Red Planet Pizza.
Yeah, she just wants you to confirm your
Just say
attendance.
I'm here.
Tennessee.
Sorry?
I think they just say indoor.
Yeah, it is here.
Yeah.
Okay. Then questions may be asked by members of the committee and the legal officer of the premises user, followed by questions from the police. Next, police. DC Mayor Mark Perry will present his objection. He will have up to a maximum of 10 minutes to do so. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
I'm present, Chair.
Okay. Then questions may be asked by members of the committee and the legal officer of the police, followed by questions from the applicant. After this, we will ask our legal officer, Ms. Lemasurier, to deal with any further questions she may have. Please, could you confirm your attendance?
Present, Chair.
Yep. Finally, we will turn to the governance team to see if any issues have been raised that we need to consider. There will be no summing up and the meeting will end. The committee will then go into private session for 15 minutes to consider their decision. They will then return to announce their decision shortly thereafter. I would like to remind everyone that the committee has read the papers which comprise the main pack that has been circulated to the parties, so there is no need to repeat their content. Please do draw our attention to certain points and pages. Mr. Phelan, Please can you outline the case for us and advise if there has been any additional documentation received?
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Murtaza Akbarabadi has submitted a temporary event notice to hold a temporary license for events on Sunday the 25th and Monday the 26th of August between the hours of midday and 7 p.m. each day. Mr. Akbarabadi is seeking permission for sales of alcohol on and off the premises at Red Planet Pizza, 167 Ladbroke Grove, London, W10 6HJ. A copy of the notice is attached to Appendix A. This notification has attracted an objection from PC Mark Perry of the Metropolitan Police on the grounds of the prevention of crime and disorder and public safety. A summary of PC Mark Perry's objection is included on pages 6 and 7, with a full copy of his representation attached in Appendix C of today's report. Finally, Chair, I can confirm that there are no additional papers in relation to this 10, and that effectively concludes the summary of this notification. I'll leave it there for now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Now, for the premises users case, Mr. Akbarabadi, please can you advise if there are any amendments to your notice?
About the place.
Yes, do you want to change anything that was in your application?
No.
No, okay. Now, can you present your submission? You have to go 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes. Just tell us about your application, why you're applying.
I'm applying because it's carnival. Every year we apply for the license for alcohol for the 2 days. And then I come to the council, I speak to them and they say on Sunday, last day, you have to apply for the license. Then I do on the Sunday, the Monday, I took from the police, they call me, they say no. They tell me why you didn't do late. And then they ask me, okay, when we give you, there is the emergency. But every year we take the permission for the license, and then the emergency is far away from us. And then already the road is packed. I know I don't want to take the queue to this side. If it's because the people come from right side to left side, and they can pass. And then we can turn the queue to the left side of the shop. And then even we want to sell the food, so people have to stay on the queue. But there is a space from the emergency to this side. And this few years we take the license, we don't have any problem. Like we have from last few years problem, they say yes, because you got this problem, no allowed. This time you have to finish, you go for extra, then that's it. That's all.
Thank you.
And we
Yeah.
serve inside, we serve on the glass, is not like bucket. We say, for example, it's dangerous for the people, we serve in the glass.
Is it glass or is
Plastic
it
one,
plastic?
not plastic.
Plastic cup.
Because I know the place, that's why I don't want to make more problem.
Right, I understand. Thank you. Any questions first from the councillors?
Yes.
Councillor Rossi?
Did you say you had a license last year?
Last year we repaired the shop, I didn't take the last, because we repaired the shop.
Are you
Okay.
repairing?
Repaired it, and years ago, 2 years ago, yes,
2 years ago, you had
yes,
a license
yes.
to sell
For
alcohol.
2 days, and then
Okay, all right. Can we check that, Lindsay?
Licensing, can you check that, please, that point?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, councillor Benson?
Yes, thank you. So, given the worries that it'll just cause an obstruction, people want to get a drink, and it's obviously a really busy part of the carnival. How are you going to manage that if that comes up? If you end up with a big queue, a lot of people, maybe everywhere else is full. People come round to your shop because there's one place they can get a drink in the block.
you get one security, for 1 to 2 security, I think it's enough for the shop. Or
I mean, I'm a little bit more worried about the crowd, like the number of people, like too many people.
number I try to sell to less of them, not too many, like 500, 400.
Right. Okay. It seemed that seems like a lot of people to have around just your site. But okay, that answers the question. Thank you.
When you say 499 people, do you mean at once or you mean the whole day or how?
Even 2 days,
In the 2 days,
In the one day, it's 500 people. I know it's queue. I have to eyes and I see when it's queue, I have to put the police and then who advising. If they say no, you have to stop, and then carry on. And then when the lorry, especially when the lorry coming on the bridge, in last year, I remember they stopped the music. And then after that, after few roads, then they start because they know on the bridge, literally, they like to, it means they didn't, they like to more injure. And then now in few years I'm there, I try to control, even especially from myself. If I see it's dangerous, I say, okay, just stop because we cannot sell. After when I see the road more busy, you feel it, you're more busy. And then we selling on the door. We are not selling outside. It means have any problem like the people push to each other because I know when I see the pack, I stop. And then when it's packed, nobody buy it because already the road is packed. Have to be more space than they remove. And then even when it's packed, they don't buy the food as well. When I see the road fully packed, nobody buys something. Just
right?
they try to find a space.
So in other words, you're saying that I'm trying to figure out what you're doing there. So you have a queue
Yeah, from
to the left.
Yes.
It's not in the way of the ambulance, you're saying.
Ambulance is like the road, like each road they close it. If, for example, something happened to someone and they take them to road. Of course, I don't put the queue just like if, for example, ambulance, they want to take them to inside, they make travel for them. It's no go long queue. In this years, I never see long because already it's packed. And if they see ambulance, of course they give way. Maybe for police, they have problem, but for ambulance, of course they. But and then the road, they open it and they go, and we can turn the queue to this side. It's no go queue that much. Even a few years ago, I said it is no go that much. When it's the pack, nobody buys something. Just they like when you're busy, you cannot eat something. Just you need the space.
So you're saying that you sell inside. Do they eat it inside or they take it away?
Eat inside, then wait. And I tell them, please, please.
Okay,
Because there is no queue. When the people pass it, they cannot stay in the road. Even the next hour door is licensed for food shop. They cannot stay. People when they follow in the car lorry, they follow it and the straight way they buy it, then go it, then go. Nobody stay.
any more questions from the committee?
Because we have more.
Yes. I have a question.
Sorry?
Because we have the space front of the shop on the left side. We can put one carry like tell them to stay there.
You've said several times that sometimes there are really a lot of people in Ladbroke Grove. And I myself have been to Council several times, and I have noticed that they're all going up and down Ladbroke Road. It's very difficult to get across. So I don't understand how you're selling alcohol. You say when it gets really, really busy, you have to stop selling.
Yes, so but no sense.
I don't really see how you selling 500 people alcohol and pizzas and whatever. I don't see how that works when you've got this major crush and you've also got the St John's ambulance people there. So, I mean, how much of your day are you actually selling? And when it gets really crushed, do you just stop?
In the stop time, never I sell it. Even I cannot sell the pizza because when the road close, sometimes the road you feel it. When the too much people close, even you cannot sell the pizza. Even pizza you cannot sell that because next to you, the spirit next to you, you cannot even take the payment. And that time we stop it until the road becomes clear. In the busy time, even you cannot sell the pizza.
Councillor Benton, any more questions?
Not for now, Chair.
Okay, any questions from our legal advisor?
Yes. How many people can you fit inside your shop, roughly?
Like they can go.
Or all at one time? How many people can fit inside the shop, customers?
Six
Six people.
Five
Five
is
to
okay,
six.
five, not too.
Okay, so 5 to 6 people can fit inside.
Yeah.
Okay, and then obviously you're talking about having queues outside. What kind of alcohol are you selling just out of interest?
Just beer for carnival.
Just beer, okay. And you just talked about Ladbroke Grove closing. I'm not aware that the main Carnival Road actually ever gets closed. I mean, maybe the side roads, in the case of an emergency, they're open
On
up.
the side to side, which is the road.
So you're talking about, what roads are these? I can't see what the names of the roads.
On the
On the
right.
west, on the west way.
If I can assist, I think it's Cambridge Gardens and then Malton Road.
That's right.
Yeah.
Across garden, open.
Cambridge Gardens.
Depends on time.
All right.
So they sometimes close.
As I see every, always close.
They're part of the evacuation routes or emergency
I
routes
think
or
it's,
whatever.
I think it's to
Yeah.
manage the flow of people coming in onto the
Okay.
main road, because obviously you've got the Carnival boats entering just below and just above as well.
Okay, so obviously Ladbroke Grove itself won't be closed.
Yeah, because that road is like alleyway. The people can do anything they want in that road. But the other road, there is the local, like people, normal people, like we are living some building, they cannot do more thing, but which is next month they close it because it's alleyway. That's why the alleyway just stay closed. Maybe the police have some problem,
Okay.
they take them inside.
I mean,
They
maybe the
make
police
some
can control
trouble,
whether they're
they take them
alleyways or
from
not.
that road inside.
So last question, why haven't you provided a risk assessment or an event management plan? I know you said that you kind of applied for this late, which may be the reason why, but obviously if you gave us a risk assessment or gave an event management plan, then a lot of questions might have been answered. You know, why haven't you been able to do that?
But at least,
Yes, why no risk assessment?
because now like 10 years, 15 years I'm there, and I didn't see anything to happen to the shop, because I have to responsible for myself as well. If I got, for example, some problem with customers, I'm not, or who the staff not carry on, just.
So you're saying that because you haven't had problems in the past is a reason not to have a risk assessment now?
No problem, just, the people coming, they try say, even for toilet, they come say, I have to go inside, I have to go inside. I said, we don't have toilet in second row or third row. And the people understand when you speak to them.
Okay, I think the risk assessment will cover things like what happens if an emergency occurs, you know, how are you going to deal with
And just
queues,
for the shop.
security, it's just the bigger picture. How long have you had the premises?
For 5 years.
You've been running it for 5 years?
Yeah.
And how many staff will be on Carnival Day?
4.
5 years, 4 staff. And Mr. Cleland, have you been able to clarify previously?
I have, yes, absolutely. Would you like to do so now?
With the delivery driver, go more like 5, 6, but half of them because the day is closed.
You're not going to be able to
We're
do
not
deliveries
doing
on
delivery.
Carnival Day.
That's right. Some shop they do, some shop they do delivery.
Yeah.
We are not doing delivery that day
Yeah.
because we know the shop all over closed. Because we can serve the people.
Right.
Thank you, Chair. So 2022, there was 10 for sales from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. The maximum number of people at any one time was stated as 6. There was no police or noise objections. For clarity, that 10 sought Saturday the 27th of August, Sunday the 28th and Monday the 29th, 2022. For clarity, there is no record of a 10 but 2023 on our system for that premises. Very clear.
So they got 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
11 a.m. until 11 p.m.
but just off sales only.
Just off sales of
For 6 people, 6
for a
customers,
maximum, at any one
Maximum
time
of
of 6
6.
people.
for 3 days, 27, 28, 29th of August 2022. And that did that go through without committee hearing?
That was there was no objection, a formal objection put into that, so there was no hearing for that particular 10 chat. Excellent.
Thank you. Please.
Mr. Perry, do you have a question?
I do have some questions. During the time you want to be open, you were asked for a 10. Is most of your sales going to be food, which I suspect it won't be, or is it mostly going to be alcohol, which I suspect it will
Most
be?
is food. Most is food. Alcohol is less because lunchtime, when we busy, normally how we are.
During the carnival,
Yeah.
when the carnival is going on, between midday and 7 o'clock, are most of your sales then going to be alcohol or food?
With alcohol next to that one, both.
Because our experience is that when the carnival is really busy, during those peak times, most people are stopping to get alcohol. They're not later than 10, 15 minutes for food, for pizza. They're mostly going to get alcohol.
So we sell the slice. We know sell.
You sell slices of pizza and you sell alcohol as well. So
Yes.
would you say most of your sales are alcohol or most of your sales are food?
Be honest, food.
Cool.
Yeah.
Second thing is that with the small premises size, the premises you have, how could you possibly manage a queue of people? If there's 10, 15, 20 people queuing to get food or alcohol, how can you manage that queue and stop it queuing the wrong way?
I didn't see most go like 10 people. Always I see just 2, 3 people. And then when they pass the bar, because when we put on the tray on this slice, just for example, say how much it is, how much.
You yourself said earlier on that you have queues and it builds up this very, very.
If it's go queue long, I have to ask them, please, can you do this side on the left side queue?
And it can be very difficult to do that, can it not?
No. But people don't understand when you speak to them. How you speak to them, they understand. Or if you tell them by angry side, you say, go this side. And they say, no, I'm not going.
I appreciate that, sir, but the fact is that my experience of police is that if you're trying to manage a queue of people, if you're in a carnival, when a flow of people is both ways, very, very difficult to manage that. It can lead to aggression. It can lead to anger as people are told they have to queue the other way. Would you say that's fair?
We can tell them until you have 5 people inside the shop, then when it's empty, another one comes. It's another 5 coming inside.
Thank you very much.
You'll-
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Perry. Now, any questions from the committee?
Yes, your license for 2022 seemed to be for 6 people, but in your shop.
Yeah.
This time you're applying for a license for 499 people.
For the serve,
Sorry?
to serve them alcohol.
Yes. So what I'm saying is you had a license in 2022.
Yeah.
But it was only for the 6 people that could fit inside your shop.
Yeah.
It wasn't for a whole load of 499 other people who would be outside your shop.
It's like maximum, which is letter I receive it, and then they say maximum you can serve like 500. When I read on the email, they say you can serve like 500. That's why I said it's like maximum. You cannot sell it 500. Even pub, they don't sell it 500 glass of the beer.
So can I ask a question of our legal advisor? If it was in the past for 6 people, now it's for 500 people.
Mm.
I mean, to me, there's a big difference there. And can you explain that into licensing?
Well, this is a question I was going to ask the police. Would they have had an objection if it was for 6 people?
I think we would have, because of primarily the location. I mean, I
Yeah.
accept when the applicant says, I think, due respect, I think you may be a little bit confused when you thought maybe for the day you'd be serving 490.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the application,
I
maybe
think,
I
I
can't.
think, yeah, I think that's, yeah.
But
it is a
in
confusion.
any event, we can only either issue a council notice or not issue a
Yeah.
council notice based on the information before us. We can't at the hearing start doing wheeler dealer negotiations like let's change it from 499 to 6. We have to, the committee has to decide whether to grant you on and off sales on those 2 days between 12 and 7 for a maximum of 499 people. That's what they've got to base their decision on. They can't
Yeah,
base it
500
on.
is too much in France.
Yeah, so
Maybe one mistake I write.
Yeah, yeah.
Maximum I said. Because the last the years we had it, I remember I said in the day like 5 case.
Yeah.
4 to 5 case.
Not much.
It's not that much. Maybe by mistake, that's why.
You misunderstood.
Yeah, misunderstood.
Okay.
Any other questions? Nope. Okay. Mr. Perry,
Thank you.
Yes, can you please submit?
Thank you, Chair. We don't have a problem with the applicant selling pizza, and should you refuse this temporary event notice as we've asked, he will still be able to sell his slices of pizza. We don't have a problem with that. What we're talking about is the sale of alcohol. And our experience, I'm sure some of your experience as well from the carnival on that route, is that at that time, most people are looking for alcohol. If the applicant wasn't looking to sell alcohol, he would have applied for the license. Therefore, he knows it forms a significant part of his business for that day. Likewise, if he's prepared to employ a couple of security staff for that day who earn in excess of 20 to 30 pounds per hour, if you times that by the 6-7 hours he's going to be open, times 2, that's a considerable amount of money. Now, bear in mind, the applicant then wants to make a profit on top of that. You can begin to understand the volume of alcohol he is going to sell or hopes to sell that day. Our concerns are basically threefold, and I'll go through them briefly. First one is the location. It's very close to the St John's Ambulance Treatment Centre and an emergency equipment box, which is basically, in case of emergency, the emergency service will go there and get the necessary equipment they need. We cannot have any risk of those access routes being blocked. If someone has a medical emergency and they have to divert by 3 or 4 minutes getting through, potentially that's the difference between that person receiving the life-saving treatment they need or not. It's a risk. We're not saying it will happen, but the potential's there. That's why the first aid centre is there. Also, because of the sheer number of people in that area, we have a very limited leeway to work with in terms of keeping that route open for emergency services, and anything that disrupts that creates a really big problem for us. Which brings us on to the second point, which is the fact that the applicant, we know all the premises that are going to be open, and as we've asked, and your council licensing have asked, is that if people are applying for tents, please apply early. This application came in at the last minute for a normal temporary event notice. And so that gives us cause for concern because it's not factored into our plans. There was no risk assessment attached to it. There was no documentation. So we then have concerns that you've got a very busy area with important services there. You've got someone that's applied for a late tent and they've got no plan and mitigation or risk assessment in place, which, to be honest, doesn't really fill us with confidence. The last point I would say is that even if the applicant were, by some excellent work on his staff's part, managed to control a queue, if you imagine, and I'm sure you do, the carnival route with tens of thousands of people in this really busy area, one of the busiest areas of the carnival route, you've got people flowing up and down. 1 or 2 security staff trying to move a queue of 15, 20 people from one side to the other. It's like trying to herd cats through water. It's almost impossible to do. And I speak from 20 plus years of experience in policing and public order. It's very difficult to get people through that at the best of times in a very busy area where people have been drinking alcohol and they want to get more alcohol to drink. It really increases the risk of primary disorder taking place. Now, I take the applicant at his word that he says, we'll need to ask him to stop selling alcohol. He would do. But if you start telling people who've been queuing up for 5-10 minutes that actually that time's been wasted and you're not going to get your alcohol anymore, it increases the tension, it leads to the risk of primary disorder taking place. And so for these reasons, we ask that the tent is rejected. It is a risk of primary disorder. It is a risk of public safety for the reasons I've outlined. And the fact is the applicant has done nothing to really assuage our concerns that these issues are being addressed. And lastly, I'll point out what I started with, which was that nothing will stop the applicant selling his pizza. Now, as he said, most of his business is pizza related during the day, in which case he can carry on. The alcohol, the stuff that we're concerned about, it's not a big part of his business. It's not a big loss. It is a really big concern for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. Any questions from the committee?
No.
No, I have no further questions. Any questions from our legal officer?
No, I think you've answered the question. What roads are St John's? And so you mentioned St John's Ambulance Treatment Centre and something else. 2 things.
If I may approach, I've got the map on my computer.
Yes, it's obviously everybody can see.
Yeah, if I move it to the front.
Yes, and show the applicant afterwards.
So, there with. So there is the map. So there is the shop is there.
Yeah.
That little green cross there is the first aid, well, it's the first aid treatment centre, and that little box there is the equipment, and it might take you through to the, I think it's the key. See, the cross of the St John's Ambulance Treatment Centre. And well, okay. That is an emergency equipment box.
So they're next to each other.
Yeah,
No space. There's no space. There's more space to the road. Road to the shop is long space.
thank you, Councillor. So this is the map that we have. So there's the key. So there's the non-damage treatment centre,
Yeah.
and there's the equipment box. And what we have here. Yeah, is we have both. So that's why that we need to keep it clear, sir. It's because of the number of people there, and
But we just show on the map, it's short corner, but there's more space.
there's a small amount of.
In the map, it's short space, but if you see that place, you can see the more space. Because the door of the building is there as well.
I appreciate that, sir, but ultimately it is a less than 2 minute walk, I would suggest, with the injections.
Do you have any questions of Mr. Perry? No question? Okay, I'd like to ask our legal officer if she has any further questions.
No, I didn't know.
Licensing officers, anything to add?
Nothing from licensing. Thank you, Chair.
Governance officers, anything to add? Thank you. We've reached the end of this meeting. The committee now has all the information needed, and we will retire to make our decision in private session. We will come back into this room in 15 minutes if you can wait, yes? A summary determination will be sent to the parties within 5 working days, and a full decision will follow as soon as possible. The time limit for appealing this decision will not commence until the full decision has been sent to the parties. Meeting is adjourned until we reconvene. Give them 13 minutes. Thank you. The committee has considered an objection from the police to a temporary event notice, which has been given to Mr. Mortiza Akbaradi, premises user for the sale by retail of alcohol on and off premises on Sunday, 25 August and Monday, 26 August, 2024, between the hours of 12 to 7 o'clock each day. The event for a maximum number of 499 people at one time. The committee has considered the committee papers and the submissions made by the parties, both orally and in writing. In reaching its decision, the committee has had regard to the relevant legislation, the Secretary of State's guidance, and the authority's statement of licensing policy. In summary, the committee decided, after taking into account all the individual circumstances of the case and the provision of crime and disorder and public safety licensing objectives, we've decided to issue a counter notice under Section 105 of the Licensing Act 2003 for the event. This notice means permission for the licensable activities requested in the 10 has not been approved. The committee decided that allowing the 10 would, in this instance, undermine the prevention of crime and disorder and public safety. And it determined to issue a counter notice under Section 105 of the Licensing Act 2000. A copy of the recent decision will be provided without undue delay. If the premises user would like to appeal against this decision, such appeal must be made to the magistrate's court within 21 days from the date of notification of the full decision, but in any event, no later than 5 working days before the start of the proposed temporary event. I thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.